Hey, what's going on, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so this is what we're talking about. The New York Knickerbockers. Forgive me, I'm extra greasy because I am definitely getting rid of this discoloration in my neck, so that means a lot of cocoa butter. But anyway, pay me no mind in that regard. We're listening to what we're saying here, and what we're talking about is the Los Angeles Lakers. And basically what I want to tell you guys is we just want to play the percentages here. I came on this channel for the specific reason of saying, let Dwight shoot. Let him shoot. Let that man shoot the three-point ball. If he's shooting 60% on the season, that means he needs to be shooting more of them. Now, I understand that this is Dwight Howard. I also understand that we don't want our center taking threes unless they're known for taking threes, as to which Dwight Howard is not. But I also understand that Dwight Howard has literally been shooting that set shot, three-point shot, since before he left the Lakers the first time. He was shooting that shot in practice back then. Now, was he hitting it like that? No. But you know how many years it's been since then? Many. He's been continuing that process. At some point in time, you just got to trust the percentages and trust the reps. This is a Hall of Fame basketball player who's been working at a specific skill for probably about 6 years. At some point in time, you have to respect the reps. You understand what I'm saying? You respect the reps. The only reason why Brook Lopez was able to explode into being one of the best three-point shooters at the center position is because a coach allowed him an opportunity to do so. This was somebody who had shot three-point shots probably over the span of like 6 years. And then one year decided to come in and shoot over 100 of them. And his coach let him do it. The only reason why he was able to do it is because the coach allowed it and because the coach trusted the percentages. The percentages tell you he's a good three-point shooter. Case in point, look at Jonas Valanciunas. Jonas Valanciunas is clearly an interior presence. But over the years, he's developed a three-point shot it at a high clip. Not a high clip, but a high percentage at a low clip. In other words, he would take one and make it every game. And consistently, he would be able to do that. The New Orleans Pelicans essentially picked him up this season and paid him $100+ million, not because of the skill set that he does naturally, but because of the high percentage of three-point shots that he was able to take and make with the Memphis Grizzlies over the last 2 years. They loved the idea of bringing him in with all of the attributes he naturally had, coupled with the prospect of him being able to stretch the floor. Even though they hadn't seen him shoot a lot of them, they trust the percentages. And that's exactly what I'm here to tell you. Dwight Howard is hitting the shot. For better or for worse, it's going in. We're allowing Russell Westbrook to attempt 3 threes a game. Is he shooting 50 or 60% from behind the arc? No, he's not. We let a lot of people shoot from behind the arc who are not shooting the percentage that Dwight Howard is shooting from behind the arc. Now, I'm not saying run plays for Dwight Howard to be coming off screens and doing step-back threes and all kinds of stuff like that. I'm not saying you turning him into Dirk or something like that. No. What I'm saying is simply trust the percentages. They're leaving him open. He's stepping into that shot and he's taking it in rhythm. Let him take it. Let him take it. That's literally, by definition, a better possession than Russell Westbrook taking a three-point shot. It's a better possession. Play the percentages. So these are the type of the off-the-wall type of things that we need to be considering, especially if you're Frank Vogel. Because of all that we got going on, because we're lacking in certain areas, it's so important that we keep size on the floor, as we talk about every single day. So if Dwight Howard is giving you the ability to stretch the floor, do you know what the Orlando Magic would have been able to do with Dwight Howard if he was able to shoot the three-point shot back in 2008? I mean, come on. You want to keep this guy on the floor because we don't have size to begin with. Him and DJ are our last line of defense because we don't have it. If Dwight's going to be able to shoot the three at 60%, I'd say we need to start shooting the ball with him more often and let him bring his three-point percentage down. Let's see it come down to 39% before we say, okay, reel it in. Because as long as it's falling, what are we doing? That's my question. What are we doing? You know, as many times as I see us take bad shots that don't work, why not run a good play for a guy who's been working on a particular shot for a very long time? So I think we should let him shoot, play the percentages. He's shooting at 60%. That's pretty damn good, if you ask me. So that's what I'm here to say. Also, to correct myself, I said that the Lakers play the Knicks on Friday. No, the Lakers play the Knicks on Tuesday in Madison Square Garden, so on and so forth. You guys would be surprised, but I haven't really listened to the chatter like I said I would in regards to the fight. I heard a little of what Skips has said, a little of what some other guys were saying, but honestly, I just haven't finished those segments just yet. Still interested. I just woke up this morning doing other things, so. But I did want to come here and say, yo, Dwight is shooting 60%. Let it fly. Let it fly. Also, upon further thought, I do believe that there could possibly be some suspensions coming down for those players involved in that melee in Detroit last night. Initially, I said that I didn't think there would be any suspensions, but what I didn't really necessarily take into account, which I should have, was the display. What that whole scene looked like, with the kid barreling over people and pushing his way back, deceiving the people who were holding him back by acting like he was cool, and then proceeding to premeditate away his toward the Lakers. All of that looks so very bad and could scare a lot of people, till I'm starting to wonder if not only will he be suspended for one game, but maybe several, just to assure that no player ever does anything like that again. Especially not toward LeBron James. So I don't want to see the NBA blatantly favor LeBron in this situation. It's just it's such low-hanging fruit, given that this kid is coming off his rookie season and LeBron is literally GOAT. He's the GOAT. I want to see people with that type of discrepancy in their position to kind of have some grace about it. You know what I mean? LeBron could get Isaiah Stewart thrown out of the league. He'd be playing in Turkey next year if LeBron wanted him to. But I would like to see LeBron let that go completely. Just because that kid can't hurt you. He can't hurt you. Even if he got his hands around you, he couldn't hurt you. Because at the end of the day, that would be the end for him in every way, shape, and form. So it's like, it's just, you got all the power in the world, LeBron. You did bop the boy in the head. Stall him out is what I'm saying. Stall him out. So that's what I got. That's what I wanted to say. I don't think the NBA should suspend either one of those guys. No, I don't. But I definitely now expect them to anyway, just simply because that looks so dang bad. And so on and so forth, man. At the end of the day, Isaiah Stewart's a young player, having a frustrating start to his season, playing through injury, as I've said to you guys. So I do expect that he'll grow up and grow out of this. I don't expect him to be doing that kind of stuff when he's LeBron's age. Do you see what I'm saying? He's young, so I don't expect him to have his emotions in check. I don't expect him to, have knowledge of self and why he should not be barreling at a billionaire basketball player like that. I don't expect him to understand those things just yet. He's just a kid who had his ego checked and saw his blood, and that was it. So if anybody's ever been in that situation, which, believe it or not, I have, and you know what that is, then you understand exactly what his reaction was. You know what he's going to go through and trying to heal up from it. You know he's going to feel kind of concerned now about his career and where it's headed, and you also know that he'll grow up from it. It ain't no big deal. This is nothing. And if I'm LeBron James, that's how I'm looking at it. It's nothing. However, we better be ready for it to be something next Friday, because they're going to be there. I think we play the next Friday here in Staples, crypto. It's going to be something. And I expect us to be ready, Now, this next test against the New York Knicks is going to be big. This is big, y'all, because the Knicks are a very good team on both sides of the floor. We got some ex-Lakers over there, particularly Julius Randle, who's going to be spirited and want to take our heads off. It's Madison Square Garden, so that right there means everything to everybody. And really, you got to understand about the New York Knicks that they have a lot of different players playing a lot of different ways right now. Players going in and out of being hot and cold, stuff like that. RJ Barrett started really hot, has cooled off. He's due, which means anybody that's due, when they see the Lakers, the motto this year, they're going to get exactly what they need out of this situation. It's like, what does the doctor order for players who are struggling right now? A date with the Lakers. So that's exactly what he's going to be getting, unfortunately for us. Derrick Rose, he's going to continue to do what he's doing. Kemba Walker's, I don't know that he's going to ever be that old Kemba Walker, but for the role that he's in, I think it's good. Because right now you're seeing the numbers come down, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, just like a Laker role players and players that can do it, like Carmelo Anthony, for example, he can still be extremely helpful within that role. And it's probably best for him not to be asked to do too much. So I think he's nestled in a perfect position. And unfortunately, again, a player that's not playing that great, probably going to light us up for 25, 30 points. So that's the main thing. It's just, can we carry over for some of the great defensive sequences we saw in Detroit going up against a very good New York team? Can we carry over some of that momentum and some of that energy and try to sneak one out against a team that is better than us as of right now? The Knicks are better than us. Evan Fournier, keep an eye on him. He could also light you up from behind the arc pretty fiercely. Very, very, very legit scorer. Emmanuel Quickly's been kind of quiet this year. You know, and this is the type of thing I'm talking about. It's like all these different players that the Knicks have, all these different players on these teams, if they've been struggling, I'm worried that the Lakers are going to give them a good game. Like, it's just how bad our defense has been. So if I'm paying attention to anything at all, it's just to see if we can carry over some of that momentum from yesterday. Russell Westbrook played a good game in Detroit. Can you continue that? Can you give us a big game in New York? You know, you're a legendary player going into a legendary building. Maybe Russell can snap out of it and really show us what he's about. Give us a 20-20-20 or something. I'm expecting it, something of that nature, because at the end of the day, I just felt like he's been dealing with nerves and bad fit. It ain't just the bad fit. It's also been his nerves as it pertains to putting on this uniform, you know? And he's really self-conscious wearing this uniform. It means a lot to him, and it ain't starting off well. When he starts getting comfortable, he's going to truly show us who he is. I do believe that. And I think we saw glimpses of that last night. So it's going to be a long contract, you know what I mean? This is year 1 of 4 years of Russell Westbrook. And I'd like to think that what we've just seen will be the worst of it in terms of just decision making and stuff like that. I'm hopeful, you know? What can I say? I'm hopeful. So yeah, that's what I got, man. Let Dwight shoot threes. I think it's a better thing for us than some of the other stuff we're allowing to happen out there. Plus, we need the size. That's the moral of the story. My name is BDL44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.